Hello, everyone. Here we are back again. Last time we spoke about the 7 levels of knowledge that come to human beings on this planet. The last one we talked about was level number 5. Level number 5 was what we called shamanic knowledge, the type of knowledge necessary to heal the world when the type of knowing had decayed very much to the place where we're at today. First, we talked about common knowledge, and common knowledge slowly degraded into specialized knowledge where people who knew everything in the society began to specialize. So everybody began to go in their own separate ways, and a hierarchy developed because of that, as some knowledge became more important than other knowledge, and therefore people more important than others. And that degraded down to what is known as unspoken knowledge, the type of knowledge that people carry all the time. Many of us might call it the elephant in the room, where things are just going wrong. Things have happened horribly to other people. People have been abused. All kinds of horrible things are going on. Secrets within professions that just aren't told. These types of things are what we call unspoken knowledge. The secret ones. The ones that cause damage because it tears into societies, tears into families, tears in to the human psyche. Today we are going to talk about what this degrades into, which is unbearable knowledge. It's very hard to talk about unbearable knowledge without people experiencing it. It's very much related to unspoken knowledge. Why do I say that? Because the unbearable knowledge is that most of us know exactly what it is. Unbearable knowledge is something that we cannot stand to live with or accept. Unbearable knowledge shapes the very foundation of our lives. It tears our systems apart. It destroys us at a very deep level. And so we find ways around it. We find ways to make up excuses or to find straw dogs or scapegoats to blame this terrible knowledge on instead of accepting it. What is this horrible knowledge I'm speaking about? But we can find it mostly with all the atrocities that have happened, especially during the 20th century and even now. Before that even, when we look at the Americas and the formation of the United States, and we realize that there were perhaps 100 million native people who were wiped out so that we could get their land. Now, at first, in order to get rid of the sting of how unbearable that is, we said that there were very few people, no cities, all roaming around in the woods not doing anything with the land. The next step of trying to get beyond the unbearable knowledge is to say that they all died of disease. The next step is that there weren't any cities, so people just came in to civilize them. But now we find through history, as it is spoken, that there were cities. There was a highly civilized group of people here. There are still cities and schools and all of those things covered over by mounds in order to hide them. But we find that we came into a civilized society. We find that many of the army people actually went out and spread diseases by taking blankets from people who had the plague and leaving them for Indians out in the cold so they would spread the disease. We find a number of murder, treachery, and atrocity that is so horrible that we can't bear to think about it. Something more horrible than when we talk about the murders in Nazi Germany or all of the other things that are acceptable to look down on. And the true unbearable part of this is similar things are still going on in the world, and we as a nation are perpetuating many of them, and our tax money is going to support murder, genocide, rape, sex trafficking, and all of the many horrible atrocities in the world. And the most horrible thing is that many of us either don't want to know so we don't have to care, and even more horrible may be that we can't do anything about it. Now, these are just examples of what I'm speaking about when I'm talking about unbearable knowledge. I'm sure you can think about many more unbearable things that you've heard lately that you can't stand. And when the unspoken knowledge, the negative part of it, piles up to such an extent that we can't stand it anymore, it opens the door to unbearable knowledge. And if we fail to go through that door and challenge that unbearable knowledge and change it, it destroys us. It destroys our families and our communities. It makes us participants in the violence and the hatred and the atrocities. And that is the most unbearable thing about it all. And so we fight like crazy to keep ourselves free from that unbearable knowledge, because it will destroy our world, shake up everything we ever believed in. But nowadays in the United States and in many parts of the world, we are being forced into the place of unbearable knowledge. And we don't know how to deal with it. But there is a way. There is a redemption even for that form of knowledge. Before we talked about common knowledge degrading down into specialized knowledge, and we said that metaphysical knowledge was a cure for specialized knowledge. You can listen to some of the other videos to find out more about that. We talked about specialized knowledge sinking down into unspoken knowledge, and we said the cure for that was shamanic knowledge, going deep down and pulling back the truth, destroying the falsity. And now we talk about the cure for this type of knowledge. And the cure for that is wisdom, godly knowledge, divine consciousness. And that is what we will be talking about in the next final video on the 7 forms of knowledge, ways to heal the most painful, horrible, unbearable type of knowledge that we're all being forced to deal with right now. So thanks for being with us. Please subscribe, hit the link below, and hit the bell so that you can know when we drop a new video. And if you want to make videos for yourself, in the description there's a little link there, and you can hit that link, and it will teach you how to best create YouTube videos, to monetize them, and all of the things that are involved with the creation of such videos. We thank you once again for being with us. and we will be adding the latest video soon.